Hi guys, so today's question is last visited integers. So this is quite tricky question and marked as easy here, but quite tricky question, and acceptance rate is only 63% and 17k is accepted out of 27k. So what you have to do, let me explain you. So you have given a zero index list of integer words. So where word size the positive integer represented as string. So only string has two types of integer. Either it has an integer but currently represented as string, and an string that is previous. So what you have to do starting from this, you see 1 2, whenever previous come you have to return the last previous value. If second previous come consecutively, you have to return the second value, but the third consecutive previous has come, so there is no third integer in this list, so you have to return -1. So 2 1 -1. Okay, another type of example is first one comes well and good. Okay, previous one return 1 because the previous is 1. Now there is no consecutive previous. Okay, remember that. So now 2 comes, now previous is 2, so okay, return that. And now consecutive previous is coming, so you have to return this previous to second integer, that is 1. So 1 is written. If there is one more previous, you have to return -1 because only there are two integers are there. So primary approach, I will take it. I will take two array list. Integers I will store in one array list, and the previous, how many previous string is coming, I will store in one array list. Second tricky part of this question is to handle that how the previous comes consecutively or non-consecutively. If it is comes consecutively, well and good. If it comes non-consecutively, then you have to figure it out. Like, I will store one in an array list which is of integers, and second which is of array list of integers. Then when previous comes, okay, so you have to store the previous. And when in between, like this, in previous, now integer comes, so you have to clear the list which contains previous, because the next previous will contain the previous integers, not the second previous, because the previous is not consecutive. So this is quite tricky question. So I have taken two array lists and array list of answers, because you have to return a list of integers. So I will iterate over the list. If list is not equal to previous, like this, then you have to clear the list which contains previous. Initially it will empty. Like, starting from this, you have to store count equal to 0 to count the number of previous integer we need to return. So first you need to store this in 1. Then again it will come to if, because it is not previous. Then it comes to else when it comes to previous. Now what you will do, you will count the increase. Now the first previous is come, and you have to add to the list which contains the previous, how many previous are there. So list 2 contains the number of previous. So now list 1 contains 1 and 2, list 2 contains previous, and the count is 1. So count is 1 means previous has come for the first time, so you have to return the last integer. So how you will return, remember that. One more tricky part here, the list which contains integer should be greater than the list of size 2, because otherwise you have to return -1. That I have catered here. Okay, so if it is greater, well and good, you have to return the last integer, that is list array list dot add list dot get list dot size minus count. Okay, and otherwise you have to return -1. Okay, so this is the question.